Let's bring on Hammer director Orlando Cicilia III and actor Eric Roberts are joining us. Hey, how's it going, gentlemen?
Great. Thanks for asking.
Good, good. How are you guys?
Doing awesome. Where are you guys? Where are you?
We're in Miami.
That's right. You're the film festival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is we're at the Cubic Center. This is a theater, and we're just about getting ready to go into our premiere. So we're here in the heart of Miami, technically Little Havana, but heart of Miami, getting ready to launch this thing.
Well, congratulations, Orlando. Thank you so much. Your film Hammer is a short horror film. The website is awesome. You can see the trailer on the website. I'm gonna share it here right now so you can check it out. And I'm excited. First of all, I have to ask a big first question. How did you get Eric Roberts to be in your horror film? And look at all the accolades and awards for this movie. It's amazing.
Well, me and Eric go back actually a few years. So we were working on a couple other things, unrelated in different capacities, right? But we met each other, we liked each other, we worked well together, and then when this came up, it was almost a no-brainer. I showed him the project and asked him to come on, and he liked it, lucky enough for me, and then it was all full steam ahead.
It's as simple and as complicated as that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, let's wait. I'm going to change this here. I'm going to go back to this setup. Tell us how you first of all pull this whole thing together. I know that like SAG Indie has certain contracts, and Eric, I just have to the chat is going nuts right now that you're here talking with us, and we've got a bunch of questions for you. We'll keep it around certain rules, but Orlando, if you could tell us getting this thing out there, obviously.
Okay, you're breaking out, but
oh,
I need
sorry.
to mention something to you. My union is on strike, so I can't talk about anything I'm in currently or doing currently because I'm not doing anything currently or in anything currently. So if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. But Orlando, tell us in terms of working with Eric and what he's like as a professional.
Don't tell.
I'm not going to tell. I won't tell the truth. So Eric, he's great. I mean, look, in everything I do, right? All sorts of businesses, the most important thing is the people, right? Because talent is great, but without the actual person, things just don't work. So it started there, and being able to connect with Eric and actually like him, and hopefully he liked me back. And then it started there with him being a great person. And then, obviously he's a phenomenal actor. And so it was a no-brainer in that sense, but it kind of started there with us being able to connect and actually like each other, I think.
Let's see. We have got 500 people watching us live on YouTube right now. We've got questions from our chat, comments and questions. You mind taking some questions?
Sure. I think
go right here.
I'm fine.
Okay, here we go. A super chat here from MK Solid 82 for Eric. Best of the Best has aged as such a fine film. It has such strong characters and heart. What are your thoughts looking back on that film?
Well, it's a family film, and time has proved it so. Everybody goes, oh, no, it's violent. No, it's a family film. It's about loving and giving and loyalty and family. It's about those things.
Another super chat here from Greasy Guido for 1111. Interesting. Eric, I called out to work sick one day and ended up watching and loving all of your Stalked by My Doctor movies consecutively. Is it difficult to play a seedy villain, or is it just fun?
It gets more fun every episode of that show.
That's great. That's great. Let's see. Wes Ray for Eric. The Ambulance is such a cool, underrated thriller. What was it like working with writer-director Larry Cohen?
Well, Larry Cohen was the coolest, but The Ambulance was the #1 movie in France for, I think, even 2 full years. It was huge in France. So it was a hit, and it made all its money back, and we all got our profit sharing. And I love Larry Cohen like I love my family, all day, every day. What a guy. What a sense of humor, and what a remarkable boy with a toy he was on a set as a director. He was so much fun.
Another super chat here from Jake Blues for 5. Who doesn't like a good Eric Roberts movie? They took my thumb, Charlie.
Except that's not an Eric Roberts movie. That's an Eric Roberts and a Mickey Rourke movie. Okay.
Well, there you go. Okay. All right. There you go. Let's see. Patrick Lemire asks, if you get a chance, check out the CocaCola Kid with Eric Roberts. It's an old indie set in Australia, a sweet film about a Coca-Cola salesman trying to convert the last corner of Earth not drinking Coke. Oh, lost them. Well, there you go. And Solomon Thornton says, greetings, Sir Eric and Sir Orlando. I am a huge fan. This is a question for Orlando. What is your approach for directing actors?
So I'm kind of direct. So I believe in a very open line of communication, which I think is why we worked well. Is so I kind of tell them what I want and then get some feedback. I'm not like super strict in terms of like this is how it has to be, because I don't think I know everything, and I don't think I know what the best way to do anything is, especially when it comes to film, to a craft like this, because it's a lot of technique, but it's also a lot of creativity and it's art at the end of the day. So it's one of those things where I'm very direct and open. I think the biggest faults we have as people and issues is when we, don't meet expectations. And if I am able to express those and receive their expectations, and that's kind of how it works. So it becomes a real partnership for me anyways. And I feel like that's the best way for me. And that's kind of how I go about it. I'm directing what I want, but there's also leeway to that because I think that's how it works.
And let's see, 200 Watt Studios just says, this is awesome. Jake Blues says the ambulance was excellent.
Thank you.
And hey, it's me in HD says, Mr. Roberts was so cool in The Dark Knight, but to me, I always loved him in the Odyssey.
Oh.
So there you go.
There's a funny quick story about the Odyssey. It was directed by the same man who directed Runaway Train, and he called me the last minute, and I had just played another part where I had to be fat, and he said, Eric, I need you for this role very quickly next week in London. Please come play it for me. It's so and so and so and so. I said, but I'm fat, and that guy has to be like not dressed. He goes, right, okay, lose the weight. Bye bye, click. And so I had to stop eating for a couple of weeks. It was horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question,
Sure.
Eric. But I'm looking at our last year reviews, and you appeared in 9 films that we reviewed last year. 9 indie
I can't
films.
help it.
I know. But I guess the question is, how do we get Eric Roberts in our indie film, and what is your thought process selection as to what films you will do?
I just have to like it. If I like it and it's fun to read, I'll come running. And I can't talk about being in movies right now, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. 200 Watt Studios for 5 says, been a fan since Runaway Train. Fantastic performance, sir. Any stories about that film?
I have never been colder in my whole life. Oh, here's a great story about that movie. We're supposed to shoot it in Montana, and we arrived in Montana on Valentine's Day, and we stayed for 10 days, and we watched it thaw. So the producer shrugged and said, well, the movie takes place in Alaska. Let's go to Alaska. So they moved the whole cast and the whole crew to Alaska, and we shot a really good movie.
So it was warmer in Alaska.
No, it was cold in Alaska. We watched Montana thaw. That's why we couldn't shoot
thaw.
there.
That's
we couldn't
crazy.
shoot there because there was no snow.
Wow. Let's see. Another question here for Jimmy Francis. For Eric, congrats on such an impressive career. What is your key rule to maintaining it for such a long time over so many pictures? Not just pictures, decades. I mean, we were all before, as we were talking before the show started, like people were realizing like your career has spanned so many decades of consistency.
Oh, that is so nice to hear, because I don't totally agree, but I'll take it. A long career is like a long marriage. It's a job you have to give importance to. It matters, and you can't take it for granted, and you can't ever ignore it, and you can't ever think it's going to do it for you, because it won't. You have to do it for yourself. It's just like marriage. It's the same kind of commitment, and it's the same love affair, except without the good kissing.
Anana Mouse asks, Hammer horror? It's a comment for you, Orlando, about the name of your film. It's a horror film called Hammer Horror.
Yeah, it's called Hammer. That is the title of the film, and it is a horror or a thriller or suspense or however you want to categorize it. But yes, it's Hammer is the name of the movie, and it's a horror.
Can you give us a quick synopsis, by the way?
Yeah, so Hammer is the unfortunate story of Bill, played by Eric, who arrives home one day in really good mood, hoping to surprise his wife, and ends up with a surprise of his own. And then what happens next?
I'll do it very quickly. Here's all I'm gonna let him tell. I'm gonna add to it, and that's all we're gonna say because he's gonna give it away. But I come home and I see my wife in bed with another man. Then the movie really begins.
Right.
Don't say another word.
I won't say another word. But I will say that it'll go live on Friday the 13th, which I think is an appropriate date, on watchhammermovie.com. So simple enough, watchhammermovie.com.
We'll put the link in the description for this video.
Yeah, perfect.
Another question here from Aid Ellis 24 from Rumble. As Eric is clearly a supporter of independently produced films, what are the hallmarks of a script production that he is looking for when picking his next projects to join?
It's nothing perfectly specific. It's if it makes me happy to read, if it was entertaining, and if I went from page 1 to the end all in one reading. All those things are what will add up to, yes, I will do it.
Wow. And then another comment from the same person. How has Eric managed to be in over 51 productions that were released in 2023 alone?
That's not a question I can answer. You'll have to ask my boss. That is my wife. That is my manager. They are the same trio. Her name is Eliza, and I think her number's on my website. Ask her.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Any final thoughts as you're in Miami for the screening of the film? Final thoughts from you, Orlando. I know, Eric, you can't talk about this movie, but just final thoughts, Orlando, as you get to see this film.
I would say I hope you guys out there can come watch it. This horror. This is a horror to end all horrors. Hopefully you'll like it. I think Eric is a mad genius. He did an amazing job. You like Eric, you'll like it. And I think even if you don't like Eric, you'll like it. But I think I would just ask, check it out and see what you guys think.
Well, you could build a pyramid with the number of accolades and laurels. Look at all these awards that this film has done. And you can see it. There's a countdown clock. You can see the movie at the website on Friday the 13th, which is a perfect day to premiere it. And then Jeremiah M is asking a quick question. Is this Orlando's first film?
So it's my directorial debut. First as a director. I have produced other films before and written other shorts, I'd say, and I did have a producerial role in other features. But yes, as a director, this is my directorial debut.
Great. And any final thoughts as you guys, I know you're going to go into the screening of the movie. Final thoughts before we say goodbye to you both. And I got to thank you for taking the time just to do the show. But final thoughts.
Support independent film. Everybody has to start that way. Support independent film.
Thank you. Just thank you, guys. Thank you. Really appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you to you. And Eric, just watching your career, you've had this just amazing career being able to do, you've been in big Hollywood productions and you continue to support the indies. And I just always applaud every time I see you on the screen. So thank you so much.
I love the kind words. Thank you. But in the end result, I've been so lucky, man. I've had so much fun.
All right. Take care, both of you. Have fun in Miami. Awesome.
Thank you.